In 2015, the UNT Dean of Students office set a goal. Make sure every UNT student has access to the food and hygiene products they need so they can focus on their studies and succeed in college. That's when the UNT Food Pantry was born. With funding from the Diamond Eagles in 2018, this resource was combined with the Suit Up Closet and the Mean Green Gowns for Grads program to become the Diamond Eagles Student Resource Center, helping expand essential services for UNT students from excelling in their classes to job hunting to graduation. Today, we're going to learn more about the Diamond Eagles program in addition to touring this fantastic campus space. We'll start our tour with Nicole Sproul, Director of Annual Giving at UNT, who manages the Diamond Eagles program, and Dr. Elizabeth With, UNT Vice President for Student Affairs, before meeting with Dr. Mo McGinnis, UNT Dean of Students and Assistant Director of Student Affairs, and Dan Nagley, Director of the UNT Career Center and Assistant Director of Student Affairs. Casey, take it away.
Thank you so much, Claudia. And I have to applaud you for saying gowns for grads.
I said right, like three times.
That's how we warm up now. Gowns for grads, right? Well, thank you. And Nicole, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I am doing well, Casey. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Now that we have some internet, life is good. Well, hey, you know what? First off, you look lovely standing outside our Diamond Eagle Student Resource Center at Crumley Hall. So do your best Vanna White and tell us a little bit about this.
Sure. So our Diamond Eagles is our annual giving society where members give $1,000 on an annual basis. And those cumulative gifts total up, and those members are able to vote then on the project that they'd like to fund for that year. So a couple of years ago, our members voted to fund the Diamond Eagle Student Resource Center. And it's been a really great and fun journey getting it all put together, and I can't wait to tour it today. Before we get started, I know that Dr. With wants to say a quick word of thanks as well.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to show you this resource center today. We're so grateful to the Diamond Eagles and their generous donation that allowed this place to be created. When we vacated this space to create the centralized housing and dining space near the Welcome Center, it provided an opportunity for us to pull together these places to help our students. We know that we have so many students, upwards of 70% of our students that come to us with some kind of need. And so we know they have food insecurity, they have need for clothes. And so we're really grateful that we have this space that's been able to expand, be able to serve more students, and we can be able to provide for them better into the future. There's room for growth. I do want to point out to a couple of alumni who've been very generous in making donations for us. Rosie Westheimer donated the refrigerator and the freezer that are in the food pantry. And I really want to thank Aaron and Kyle Hogue, who donated the equipment that we use to set up the Mean Green Gowns for Grads, as well as the Suit Up program. They not only donated it, they actually worked hard labor and installed all of it. So we've got really great alumni, and we're so grateful for everyone's support in being able to create this space. So let's go take a look at it. We're happy to show it to you.
Thank you, Dr. With. That's really exciting. And I'm sorry, but you just threw a statistic out there that kind of shocked me. You said 70% of students have some kind of need. And look, I'm not a math major. I was not a math major. I was a journalism major, but that's a lot of students. And now that we just received notification today that we've hit a record year in student enrollment. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about that and what that may mean for the need of our students on campus?
Well, our record enrollment's tremendous, over 40,000 students, still have over 5,000 new freshman students. And for us, knowing that percentage of students that come to us with some kind of need, that means they need some sort of financial aid. They can't fund their entire education. Their family can't fund their entire education. And so we know what that percentage, because the number of students has grown, the number of students in need has grown as well. So the space becomes more and more valuable to us and more needy for those that have that insecurity. So we're really grateful to have it.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us today. So let's take a look around the food pantry. Now, as you guys walked in, this is on the first floor. And which direction did they head? I did not even notice as you walk in the front door of Crumley Hall.
If you walk in the back door from Crumley, you'll find the food pantry is up first. If you turn directly to your right, once you come in, you can find this glorious mecca here.
That looks amazing. Well, why don't you guys take a minute and show us around, show us some of the items that we have available for our students and tell us a little bit about how they're organized. And that way we can get an up close look like we're really there.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mo McGinnis, the Dean of Students, and want to kind of show you a little bit about the food pantry. Any student that comes to get food will get a can opener so that they can get canned goods without being able to open them. Over on this side is all of our breakfast items, our granola bars, Pop-Tarts, cereals, crackers. These are a lot of things that go very quickly.
So those are your most popular.
UNT community garden.
Oh, look at that.
And we have vegetables that we grow over by Legends Hall. And it is operated by the We Need Green Fund. So they give us fresh produce for our students that we grow on campus.
That is amazing. So do you have an idea of roughly how many pounds of fresh produce come into the food pantry from that resource?
I don't. Basically, each plot, we have 20 plots, and each one is run by a different group of students and faculty and staff. And they kind of grow their own and donate what they want.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Okay, so we know that the high carb items and good breakfast cereal bars and all of that are the first to go. So what else do you guys have on the shelves there?
So our new addition to the food pantry in the past couple of weeks has been our freezer, which we are able to put frozen good items, a lot of Hot Pockets and TV dinners, Uncrustables, which grow very fast, and then our fridge. And our fridge has a number of items that we give either through donations or through purchasing by money that is donated to the pantry. I would like to ask if anybody wants to donate their egg cartons. We cut them in half and we give 6 eggs to students that need eggs.
That's fantastic. That's a really great staple there. So that's fantastic. I see that we do have a question coming in right now and wondering if people are able to place an order from an online source and have them donated to the food pantry. Is that an option? So if like
into that, like for example, Amazon.
Right.
We're looking into that option after COVID. I'd like to pursue that possibility more. But while this is going on, I want to make sure we get it in the right hands.
Wonderful. Well, we'll be excited to see that roll out once that does happen. And we'll be sure and let all of our alumni know about it and keep them plugged in so that way they can continue to help donate and give back to our students. So that's fantastic. All right. So what else do you have over there, Dr. Mo?
So on this side of the room is all of our meal kind of prep stuff along with some desserts. So we have our high carbs in regards to mac and cheese and SpaghettiOs and pasta and sauce, rice. And then we start with our soups. And sometimes we get little random donations, which we'll take anything, just so it's not expired. This is one of the favorite locations of our students. They love getting applesauce and fresh or the canned fruit, throw in their book bag and be able to run. And then here's our big thing in regards to our proteins. So canned chili goes very quickly, tuna fish, canned chicken, and number one is peanut butter.
Can't go wrong with a good jar of peanut butter, that's for sure.
You can't.
Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. So with school just recently starting, have you guys started to see visitors coming in, and how are students finding out about the food pantry if they're not aware of it right now? What methods are we using to kind of get this out to our students that are on campus right now?
So word of mouth is really big. If our students use the pantry, they tell their friends about the pantry. We also have a Facebook page and a Twitter page, and I believe an Instagram.
Oh, good.
And just word of mouth is really big.
Wonderful. So do the students need to demonstrate some sort of financial need in order to utilize the food pantry?
We really don't ask questions. We ask questions in regards to how can we help you more long-term? So can we get you connected with Career Center to help you find a job? Can we help you look at other avenues to get you some other long-term food resources? We often take some of the money that is donated and we buy hot meals in the cafeterias and give them a hot meal once a week if they need that.
That's fantastic. Oh no, did we lose? Oh, there she is. Okay. Woo, you went away there for a second, Dr. Mo. You're back. Good. So is there any kind of restriction on how many times a student could visit the food pantry, or is it just come as you are, take what you need, and we're going to respect that?
Well, right now, because we're dealing with COVID, we're doing a curbside pickup.
Oh, good.
So our students get to go into our website, fill out a Google Docs form and place an order. We will put it on the curb. They give us a time they're going to pick it up, and they will come and get their own food.
That's fantastic.
When we're not in the middle of COVID, it's open from 10 a.m. till 7 p.m., Monday through Thursday, and on Fridays from 10 to 5. We will look at expanding at weekends as we're able. But really, we just let students come in and see what they need, give them a bag or two of food.
That's fantastic. So would you say that the peanut butter is kind of the greatest need, the proteins, or what would you say you guys need the most of throughout a school year or even a semester?
Definitely the proteins. They're the first ones to kind of go. And the like raviolis or the mini microwavable kinds of meals.
Okay, good to know. I'm making notes over here. I hope everyone out there is too, if you're able to give. Dr. Mo, what's the best way for, say, an alumnus or a parent or someone in the community nearby to make a donation?
You can make a donation through Advancement in their website. You can mail in a check to the Advancement, or you can contact us in the Dean of Students office through email, which is deanofstudents@unt.edu. And we'll help you get connected to us.
That's fantastic. So we'll continue to push that out to everyone that's viewing on Facebook as well as Zoom, so that you all have access to those links to make donations if you are able to do so. So could you tell us, like, throughout the school year, do you have any idea how many students may actually visit on a typical school year?
On a typical school year, which is not this year.
You're right.
About 1,200, 1,300 students. We have had over 9,000 visits since we opened in 2015.
Wow. Wow. So I think it's really remarkable that you do have fresh food and produce in there as well. And to have these state-of-the-art commercial refrigerators and freezers, I think that's really fantastic. Is that kind of the norm for all of the universities across the nation, or are we doing something unique and different here?
I really can't speak to that because I think everybody's looking at it a little differently with COVID and the impact that has had on food insecurity in college students. But I can tell you the fridge and freezer have been awesome. The size of the space that we have is unprecedented.
Is the food pantry run by volunteers or staff members?
So we have 2 staff members that help make sure to manage it. One takes care of volunteers and making sure we have stocked up and what do we need to go purchase. And then one takes care of the food donation drives that different departments kind of help us put together.
Wonderful.
Then we have a student worker and volunteers.
Wonderful. Are those volunteers UNT students, or could someone outside of the community who may feel called to come help volunteer participate in this as well?
Right now we're using student volunteers. A lot of times we need more hours than what we have available, so we do look at extending times. If somebody's interested in an alum, we'd love to have that conversation with them.
Wonderful. That's great to know. So I know that there are a lot of people that would be eager to get back into the university and just be back on campus and help out and give back and share their time with you. So hopefully we've got some folks out there that are listening and are able to participate in this as well. So this is really, really fantastic. And it's got to be really rewarding to help our students like this. And I know with COVID kind of changing the way we do things in the food pantry, prior to COVID, when you could perhaps meet a student face-to-face and help them pick out what they need or show them around. Can you tell us a little bit about what this resource has meant to students in the past and to kind of see them in the food pantry and be able to have access to this resource?
Sure. When we first opened, we used the tagline, "You can't learn if you're hungry." And think about the times that you might be really hungry and how grumpy that makes you or how irritable that makes you. Can you really learn? And so what we've heard from students is the impact this gives and the ability to help them go to school is really powerful. And UNT is great at looking at a lot of services that may need to help our students, and we need to make sure that they're taken care of.
I love that. That's so true. So true. And I think that's a great way to get that out there. And we know that college kids, they have a really high metabolism, guys. So let's keep those donations coming in and let's keep our kids learning, right? We want them to be successful.
Yep, that's right.
Well, Dr. Mo, thank you so much. I just looked at the clock and went, holy moly, we're halfway through this already, and we still have 2 more spaces to check out. So I guess if we could make our way over to the Gowns for Grads area and room, and let's take a look at what's going on there.
If you were to continue straight from the door in the back, you come around this way, take another right, and then an immediate left, you would find Gowns for Grads.
Look at that. All right. This is a really neat space. I wish I had a closet that big.
I do too.
All right. So start from the beginning. How did this program start? And let's talk about where it's headed in the future.
Sure. So a couple years ago, we had a student reach out to us and asked us if we had any gowns because they couldn't afford to walk across the stage without a gown. And we had a couple trickle in after that, just asking the same question. A student asked us if we had a program like this because there's one in Berkeley that she was aware of, and we did some research. Jostens was grateful, or was in helping us donating 50 gowns. And we put things around the Coliseum when people graduated, and they started giving us gowns. So we have the undergraduate green, which is very unique to UNT.
Yes, it is.
We have the masters, which is also very unique to UNT. And we have 2 doctoral. And then we also make sure we give their hoods. So we have hoods available for masters and doctoral. And each student gets a tassel for their respective college, and they get to keep the tassel. It's kind of one of our thank you gifts, if you want to call it that. And all the mortars.
I love it. This is so special. This is really special. So just to make sure I understand correctly, Jostens started us out by filling the closet with 50 of these gowns, but then people were able to donate used gowns too. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So if you guys have your gown lying around at home and you are going through the COVID decluttering phase still, you know where you can send this, okay? There are students out there that would love to have this opportunity. And I cannot imagine making it all the way through your university career and not be able to walk across that stage and have your moment because you can't afford a gown. So I just got chills when I said, anyway, that's super emotional.
I do want to make a shameless plug too. we looked at how long it takes for one of these gowns to go into landfills, and it takes just as long as it does for plastic bottled water. So about 150 years.
Wow.
We'll take your gowns.
All right, there you go.
That's good.
If you want to stick around for the next 150 years to check out and check our science, then please do. We would love to have you do that. No, so okay, can you tell us typically how many students we have graduate every year that may be needing a gown like this?
Well, I think we had about 10,000 last year. Not that needed them, but 10,000 that graduated. When we started the program, we served 70 students the first semester. And the second semester, we were at 150.
Wow.
We also take their pictures. We offer senior pictures for free and give them the ability to celebrate a little bit differently.
I love that. I think that's so remarkable. And one thing that makes me really proud of our university is that we have a lot of first generation college students that come through there and students that are trying to take a new journey and kind of break the mold for their family. And this is just another way that we are doing remarkable things for our students. So I'm so proud of this. I'm really curious though. So you said this has been going on for 2 semesters. In the first semester, we had 70 students. In the second semester, we had 150 students that utilized this resource, correct? So with that concept in mind, are we thinking we're going to see another influx of gowns for grad need in the coming semesters, or do we anticipate it holding steady at about 150? What are your thoughts on that?
I believe I see it increasing. We have seen with COVID, we had over 220 people apply. And then when we didn't have graduation, we couldn't give them out. So I know we were over the number that we had. So we would have had to buy more gowns. And we do that through donations given to the program. We also know that we serve, as Dr. Wiss said, 70% of our students need some kind of help. And this program serves first gen international students, low socioeconomic background, and students from that kind of demographic.
That's really fantastic. So, you know, we've been able to see firsthand how emotional it is when a student attends a ring ceremony, which is one of our newer traditions, and I'm very proud that we're doing this. It's definitely a special milestone, but with graduation being that ultimate milestone, I got to ask exactly how many tears have been shed, how many smiles have formed when they walked in to pick out their gown, and how many students have been impacted by the generosity of this program. You've told us it's been over 200 students, but have you had any success stories that have come out and really kind of moved you and made you super proud that we're doing this, that you could share with us, I should say?
I would tell you that a lot of things the university does makes me very proud to be here. But things like this just show the extra touch and the different things that UNT does to make sure we're always looking at the needs of our students. They change, and that we're always aware of it.
I love it. I think this is really fantastic. So Dr. Mo, before we move on to the next space, can you just remind everyone how they might go about donating a gown if they have one, and what the steps are?
They can mail it to the Dean of Students office, which you can find our address on our website. We do have a website just for meet and greet gowns for grads. You can drop it off in the union, the registrar's office. My guess is if you dropped it off anywhere on campus, they would get it to us.
Fantastic. I love it. All right. So let's move on down, I guess, maybe the road, or move on to our next space there in the Resource Center, which is going to be our suit up closet. And let's check out what's happening down there.
So carrying down the hallway, if you take another right, you're going to find our suit up closet.
And who is this guy?
Welcome to the UNT Suit Up Closet.
Hey there.
I'm Dan Nagley, and I just wanted to give you a quick tour of this space. So you'll see around the room, over where Daniel's showing you, is the women's section, all the way over to the corner of the room, and this rack right in front of me here. And then the rest of the room, this wall over here and this rack are men's clothing. So all these suits and shirts have been donated by generous partners with the Career Center. And we feel like, you know, you start out with the food pantry for student success while they're here. That helps with student success while they're here. Then you have the mean green gowns for grads, which helps them be proud to graduate. Well, this is helping the students actually get to the place where they want to go after graduation. So we're loaning out students to students to help them during their interview process, their job search. And we've, as you can see, got a lot of suits of both men's and women's at a lot of different sizes. One of the things we found that's been challenging about this space or about this program is the various sizes that we need to have in stock. And so what you see here is about 75% of our entire stock. We've got a lot more in storage that we can reach out and get. So we are fairly flush with suits for both men and women right now. Back behind me here is some ties, belts, and shoes. We are not quite as flush with those items at this point. So those are the types of things that we may still need for students because they need to be outfitted from head to toe for their interviews and job searches.
Absolutely. Thank you for showing us around, Dan. Oh, what were you about to say? I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to show the dressing rooms because obviously they all need to try on their suits. And so I'll walk you across the hall here too. We have 2 dressing rooms for students.
And of course they're painted green. I love it. What a lovely bench. I need to know where to get that.
I'll share that with you later.
Yes, please do. Hopefully it's Amazon.
I love my green velvet.
Absolutely. Well, Dan, so I think this is another, gosh, just really remarkable thing that we're doing here on campus, because we all know how important it is to be dressed for success. You've got to have a full tummy in order to be successful as well and continue learning. But, you know, one of the biggest things that we've noticed for recent graduates is really understanding what it means to dress like a professional and present yourself as a professional. So when students come into the suit up closet, is there someone there to help consult with them on how to maybe put a suit together or an outfit for a lady?
Yeah, we've actually partnered with our College of Merchandising, Hospitality, and Tourism to have a student that we've hired to manage this closet for us, along with a full-time staff member that supervises that student. So we do have somebody that has an eye on fashion for their career in the future. So hopefully they know what they're talking about and can give advice to the students when they're walking through and trying to pick out outfits and match items together.
Absolutely. I love that. And I love that we're giving students this opportunity, almost as an internship, to really practice those skills and help set other students up for some success. And I'm sure there's got to be some really cool relationships and bonding that comes out of that whenever a student visits and gets to work with another student and help them get suited up. So once I'm back on campus, can I visit for some fashion advice? I mean, it's a fair question, right? Oh, we must have a lag. Oh no, he can't hear me.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Dan. I made a joke.
I was laughing.
Thank you, Claudia. Oh no, I was saying, Dan, could I go and get some fashion advice from those student workers, because I feel like I need it every day.
As long as you show your student ID, you can get in.
Believe it or not, my photo on my staff ID is the same as my student ID photo from 2002, and I am not changing that puppy. So yes, I'll show you that. Well, okay, Dan, so I'm curious, whose idea was the suit up closet? How did this come to be?
Well, it came out of students coming into the Career Center, having interviews scheduled, and we talk about dressing for success, and students that could not afford to go and purchase things from any store. And so a number of staff in the Career Center came up with this idea to actually, it started as a program where we got donations from all around the Metroplex, and we had an event and invited students in, and at that event, they took the clothes with them and they kept them. And so we did that for a number of semesters, and the problem became is we couldn't keep up with the demand for the clothes. And so the idea for the Suit Up Closet was born from that, so that we now lend the clothes to the students and they wear them for the length of time that they need them, and then they dry clean and bring them back to us. And if they can't afford dry cleaning, we'll dry clean them for them.
That's really fantastic. You had mentioned that you're not as flush with the ties and different accessories for the men. How are things looking for the ladies there in the Suit Up Closet, and what kind of needs might you have elsewhere?
Shoes are a premium need. We probably only have about 20 pairs of both men's and women's combined. But jewelry, conservative, I will say, jewelry and scarves and things of that nature are definitely needed as well.
Good to know. So once again, if we have a student or even a parent, an alumnus out there watching, somebody in the community, how could they get their donation materials to the Suit Up Closet? What's the best way to make that happen?
If they contact the Career Center, they can do that by emailing us at career.center@unt.edu or call our main number, which is 940-565-2105. We'll make arrangements. Either we will come and get it if it's within a driving range for us, or we'll make arrangements to have a drop off here outside of the Suit Up Closet.
That's really fantastic. So is this a resource that, say, the faculty are telling our students about through their classes, or is this being marketed just through the Career Center website? How can students continue to find out about, again, another great resource that we have available on campus?
Sure. We market it through our website, of course, but then we also utilize going into classrooms. We do a number of classroom presentations throughout the year, and the Suit Up Closet is brought up at that. And then when we do have career fairs in person, which we're not doing right now, but when we have, we've brought over sample suits and actually have taken students that didn't have clothes coming into the career fairs, brought them over to the closet, got them suited up really quick, and then got them back to the career fair. So we do a lot of different ways of advertising.
That's wonderful. So I'm curious, I know with the gowns for grads, we also offer professional graduation photos for those students in need as well. I'm curious, does the Suit Up Closet provide professional headshots for these students who may not have the financial means to pay a photographer to do that?
We actually do professional headshots for any student, whether they have a need or not. So we have a staff member, or actually a student staff member, that is going through the photography program, and they do all the headshots for their LinkedIn profiles or any other professional need that they have for a professional headshot.
Wow, that's fantastic. I love to hear that. So, man, again, I'm just blown away by all that we do for our students. I feel like this is just really remarkable. And the other thing that I've learned since working in higher ed, it's been really great to see how universities share ideas and concepts with one another. Like Dr. Mo talked about, hearing about the program from Berkeley. And so, I love that we have that kind of community, and we are all genuinely trying to do what's best for our students and set them up for success from the beginning. So let's see here. COVID. How has COVID impacted your resource and donations at this time? Are people just donating things that go from the waist up for Zoom meetings, or what's that looking like?
We do have that still happening. So not as many pants going out and skirts, but yeah, the tops will still go out. Yeah, the challenge for us is when students are trying on clothes or wearing clothes, then we have to make sure that they're cleaned and sanitized before we put them back on the rack. So if a student tries on a number of different outfits before, we have to take that outfit out of circulation and make sure it's cleaned and sanitized before putting it back on the rack before the next student touches it.
That's perfect. That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Dan, and I appreciate you hanging out there in the Suit Up Closet. Absolutely. And is Nicole still standing around? There she is, more than
Hi there,
6 feet
Casey.
away. I love it. You guys have got this social
Always.
distancing
You
thing
know it.
down. Well, Nicole, this has been such a really cool experience, and it makes me so proud as an alum to be able to see these resources. So if you would, in closing, just kind of give us a little bit about how people might go about sponsoring a project, joining Diamond Eagles, and any last closing remarks you might have before we wrap up.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up, I did really want to show off my favorite part, and that's all of these wonderful thank you notes from students who have been served through this organization and through these programs. One of the neatest things about this space is that in collecting these 3 programs together in one space, it's a confidential location that our students can come if they're food insecure or needing resources but embarrassed to ask. We can have them come here and get these resources, which makes it so special. And you can see that our students are so grateful for that. So if you would like to be involved in something like this and join the Diamond Eagles this year so you can fund programs like these, the best way to do that would be to join us at one.unt.edu/Diamond Eagles, or call our office and we can walk you through the membership process. We just want to make sure that our members have the opportunity to see the results of some of the kind generosity that they've given. And we hope that we get more members this year to do more for the UNT community.
I love it. So as far as sponsoring a project goes, is that once you join the Diamond Eagles, do you get to make suggestions for a project, or what does that process look like?
Sure. The way that it works is we have locations from all over campus. Each unit and department, all of the areas that are interested, submit their applications around this time of year, and we review those and decide on the top 3 to 5 projects to put forward in front of our members, and then our members decide the winning project for each year. So there is a lot of great projects that get brought forward, and as you saw with some of the donations that we've received in addition, like the refrigerator and things like that, when we bring these projects forward, more donors are able to identify need from the university, and we're able to talk a little bit more about the other areas that need support, even if the project isn't winning for that year, or if that project doesn't end up getting picked up.
I love it. So can you tell us just briefly maybe some other projects that have been proposed but haven't quite been funded yet? And, you know, let's hear a little bit about that.
Sure. I know that in the past couple of years, we've had projects proposed like pavilions in the pollinative prairie to allow for a space for learning and opportunities. We have had our last winning project was our Texas Fashion Collection digitization process, which was a lot of fun. And I know you've done an alumni live on that one as well. We've also had projects that help aid retention by creating a video library of the majors that we have available and questionnaires to both alumni and current students, so that our incoming freshmen or incoming people can look at those and identify where they feel like they would fit best within the university. So we have kind of a broad range, both building oriented projects and some more technology oriented projects, and there's really no limitation to the type of project that we are looking to support.
I love that. And there is always some sort of need there. So guys, get creative and join the Diamond Eagles and give Nicole all your project ideas and bring your friends and tell them to join the Diamond Eagles too, so our students can have the most amazing experience yet, and we can continue to set them up for success. So thank you again, Nicole. I appreciate you guys so much and touring the space with us. And now I'm going to turn it back over to you, Claudia.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all so much. So much mean green pride going on in this in the chat today. So thank you all so much for being here.